Good evening. Tabriz here from the Amateur Football YouTube channel. Apologies about my lateness, family issues, family. But you know what? Enough about me. Listen, thank you everyone that's tuning in. Thank you for the people who are watching it on replay. Let's go straight into it. I have I'll say another special guest, or should I say family, or should I say the most experienced coach that I know. Have I backed myself up in the corner? But you know what? Hey, Mimi is back in the building. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, good. Not too bad. Coping in lockdown. Yeah, can't wait for football to come back, to be honest. That's the main, one thing we've missed.
100%. But again, thank you for spending this 35-40 minutes with me and talking about something which is dear to our, both of our hearts in terms of not only football, but people of color who have influenced us within the game.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah.
So the title of this video, the top 5 Black Prem defenders, and again, this is our opinion. We may chuck in a few other names, but again, we are going on what we believe are the most influential players that we saw growing up. And of course, me, who's got an Instagram account called Mo Coaching, and I will literally put that banner on right now. You will literally talk about these players, and then I will chip in. But you know what? You are the driver of this, so literally let you kind of go. But actually, before we start, can you please tell anyone out there, your journey so far?
Yeah, so been doing my football coaching company for coming up to 2 years now, and centering on developing, growing the grassroots football game, supporting youth players, adult players through one-to-one football coaching, group coaching, and team training, and just shedding light on the football community and just using my experiences. Been coaching probably since I was 16, so 12 years now. So quite a long time. Lots of experience playing Sunday league, Saturday league as well, at university as well playing, and then lots of coaching experience at under 10, under 9, and then into the sort of older age groups as well across the last few years.
Amazing. And if I've not already said it before, can you please give everyone your Instagram, all your social media?
So Instagram is MO Football Coaching. So the MO is abbreviated for Mimi Olaide, MO Football Coaching on Instagram, and then Twitter is MO Coaching, and then 1 for Twitter. So
Cool. Great stuff. George has already come in on Facebook and he has said, Campbell, the end. Okay.
I like that. I read that. I think they're reading our minds.
I know. Let's not jump the gun. But you know what? That is a good shout. But let's go straight into it. So, before we start talking about this guy, let's watch his highlights. Wow. Well, you know what? Let's kind of start off with Marcel Desailly.
Yeah.
Like,
What a player.
What a player. Please talk about how he has influenced you.
Yeah, obviously being a Chelsea fan, obviously growing up, and then sort of highlighting him as a Chelsea player, Chelsea legend, and the attributes that he has. Obviously in the clip you can see not only he's tackling and winning possession, but you can see how he's playing out from the back. He's passing. There was even one clip where he set up a goal with a through ball. And in that Man United clip, I like the way how, yes, he will intercept, win the possession back, but then he'll also be ready to start the attack. So in the way how Desailly played during his career is sort of a real modern day centre back of now. And a player who reminds me of him is Kurt Zouma, has those similar attributes. But yeah, I think that like Desailly, just from being a Chelsea fan growing up, and for him being Chelsea's captain, Chelsea's leader, he definitely is going to be in my top list, top 5 players.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Desailly, he for me, he's probably the reason. Well, one of the main reasons why I wear Adidas football boots. You know, I remember the advert that he did, and he used the crane, like the wrecking ball, as an actual football. And again, because he was just a rock. He was lit wall. And I remember that Champions League goal that he scored against Barcelona, where, you know, again, he was kind of more of a, you know, a very robust, you know, a strong tackler, but wasn't really renowned for his finishing. And literally, that was a class finish.
Yeah,
that was a class finish. And again, Desailly, especially at, you know, AC Milan, I mean, just such an influence, absolute such an influence. And again, you know, being like part of that kind of French squad. He was an amazing defender. And you know what, exactly what you said before. I think, you know, without Marcel Desailly, there'd be no Kurt Zouma.
Yeah. So those pioneers, true. It's true.
You know, and you know, again, you know, because what age did Desailly move to Chelsea? Probably 30, 31, 32.
Good question, because he didn't. It wasn't many years until when then he moved on, because he moved on just before just at the start of the Abramovich era, and then just at the start of he was gone by the Mourinho era. So by the end of 2003-2004 season, I think that was his last season, the 2003-2004 season. But yeah, good question. Yeah, off the top, I don't 100% know what age he actually did come to Chelsea, but probably later on in his sort of career. I think of his main sort of, you know, like, you know, for obviously the AC Milan days and the French World Cup winning days. But yeah, obviously when he came to Chelsea, he was obviously quite an established, well-known player who gave Chelsea, you know, a fair few years of service. Yeah. But yeah, definitely, 100%, a player for the archives. And as you said, it's a good point about those players, those past players who have paved the way for players of today. And like you said, obviously without Desailly, there won't be no Kurt Zouma. Yeah, so it's good.
Cool. So the next player, actually, again, we can go to the next player. Let's watch some of his highlights.
Took a bite out of mountain range, thought my teeth would break the mountain dead. Let's go, I wanna go all the way to the horizon. I took a drink out of the ocean and treading water there before I drown. Let's dive, I wanna dive to the bottom of the ocean. I took a ride, I wouldn't go there without you. Let's take a ride, we'll take a ride, I wouldn't leave here without you. I am a mountain, I am the sea. You away from me, 'cause you tear us apart with all the things you don't like. You can't understand that I won't leave till we're finished here, and then you'll find out where it all went wrong.
William Gallas.
Yeah.
William Gallas. So yeah. Why does William Gallas make your top 5?
So I think, just as you can see from, I think his undesired, burning passion to just win a football game and sort of win at all costs, and playing with your heart on the sleeve and being a leader of men. Obviously, when he was at Arsenal, he had a stint at being captain to lead the team. When he was at Chelsea, I like the way how he was versatile to play centre back and left back at one stage. And it's just that willingness and that hunger, passion to sort of win. And within this modern day now, you want those die-hard defenders who will put everything on the line and lead their team to victory from the back. But yeah, sort of William Gallas, in terms of players who have shaped my football journey growing up, and influential players growing up. Yeah, William Gallas has to be in my top 5, especially the years when he was at Chelsea, and then obviously he sort of left on a bit of a, yeah. So, but yeah, he's definitely good. And again, he played for the French national team as well. And there was one stage where him and Desailly, when they were at Chelsea, him and Desailly were playing together at the back. So that's good. That's good to see, and it's sort of again a memory that sticks out in my mind.
Yeah. Aaron Stocker had said Gallas was definitely better at Chelsea than Arsenal. Yeah, definitely. He was.
I think he went when he went to Arsenal. That's when they were sort of on that decline, and that's when they were sort of losing the so-called invincibles, and there weren't many players. Was Ashley Cole the last? I think Ashley Cole was the last player to leave from the Invincibles.
I don't know.
Yeah. But when he did go to Arsenal, I know it was kind of when Arsenal was in that transition phase, and they were kind of not on the decline, but not the Arsenal of the Invincibles, the Arsenal of early Wenger days.
Yeah. And again, for him to be captain at Arsenal, captain at Chelsea for like a few games, but again, I think Wenger must have seen something in him too.
Yeah. So
obviously,
I think at that point he just needed like an experienced defender, even like an experienced player. Yeah, and obviously we've tried with Ashley Cole going the other side. But yeah,
okay, cool. All right, let's jump on to the next player. Let me just apologize now. The highlight will be very, very, very short, but hey, you know what? It's still a highlight.
Yeah.
This is Gudjonsson again, and he's found Zola. And Zola, another great move, has found Babayaro in a bit of space. Babayaro through on Schwarzer. First possible start in the second half for Borough here at Chelsea.
Yeah, Babayaro. And again, like maybe you're showing your age, but well,
if people can calculate, I don't know, but maybe it just shows that obviously, I've been a Chelsea fan through and through. I know my players.
Yeah, true.
True. Babayaro again, someone growing up who just stood out. Him being from Nigeria, myself being from Nigeria as well, and him being a Nigerian player coming over to the Premiership, coming over to England, and also playing at Chelsea as well. And as you can see, they're scoring goals, wearing the number 3 shirt, and having that maximum game time. And just again, it's a player who, if I look at my footballing career, if I look at why I support Chelsea or the memories of supporting Chelsea growing up, he's a player who who stuck out, who has stuck out to me growing up. So yeah, so hence why he is there. He was also he was very noticeable for his for doing his backflips. Yeah, on celebrations as well. But yeah, again, he's just a player who again has shaped me as a footballer, as a football coach, and again as a Chelsea player.
I you know, again, I'm Nigerian as well, and I like remember. I think it was in the Olympics. And again, we had Kanu, we had Nyaro, we had. I'm not too sure if Sunday Alicia was actually part of the Olympic squad.
Was it the '94 one?
Yes, for '94.
Yes, that was a team.
That was a team. You
and
know,
was it? Well, I would have only been like 2 there, but
that
again, it's a highlight that sits in a sort of Nigerian national team. Is it Daniel Amakochi as well?
Yeah.
And those players, So,
you know, and
generation.
and literally that was the first time I saw Baba Nyaro, you know, and again, you know, he had a cultured left foot. He had a great engine. And you know, again, he was very underrated as a defender. But you know, he literally did his work, you know, and very efficiently. You know, very rarely got like beat. Okay, like he wasn't like the tallest. But you know, on the ground, he was a tough tackler, and you see, you know, from like the highlight, you know, that he could score goals.
I think did he was competing with Graham Lasso for that left back spot.
Yes.
For that, so sort of, and because it was then when Chelsea, so it was him, Graham Lasso years, and then that's when William Gallas filled in for a few years, and then went into obviously buying Ashley Cole as well. He was in that sort of 2000, 2001, 2002 era, Babi Yaro. Even the late 90s, he came. And in the late 90s, up until the early 2000s. So
quality player, definitely. So the next one. Let's go to the next one.
Who've we got?
In the end, Yobo only played 23 matches for the club before being sent to Everton of the English Premier League on loan the next season. Everton would be the team that would provide him with his most successful seasons of football. After starring at the 2002 World Cup in Japan and South Korea, Joseph Yobo became the first signing by Everton manager David Moyes. Initially a 1-year loan deal, Yobo's play was brilliant. He showcased power, speed and athleticism that few defenders had ever shown before at Goodison Park. For 8 seasons, Yobo was paired alongside the likes of Alan Stubbs, David Weir, Jolyon Lescott and Phil Jagielka. However, regardless of his central defence partner, Everton performed well at the back. In 4 of its 8 seasons at Everton, Yobo helped the club qualify for Europe, making it one of the club's most successful periods in recent times.
Joseph Yobo.
Joseph Yobo.
I mean, again, I want you to like drive this. Like,
so again, another Nigerian player, consistent centre back, a centre back where you know someone who you can rely on. Spent several years at Everton, so that's when that's where he made his name and really put himself on the map. And I think with him coming, obviously there's players before him, like you said, Kanu, JJ Okocha, but then more, I think the start of like Babi Yaro, Yobo, more and more Nigerian players are coming over to the Premier League and really putting Nigerian players and African players on the map. And again, someone growing up through my years of growing up and watching the Premier League, someone who again has stood out to me as being a good, solid centre back in the Premier League, and also having opportunities to captain Everton as well. I'm sure he captained Nigeria as well. Was that after Okocha? I think.
I believe. I mean, it was probably going in between both of them. If Okocha was injured, or you know, if he couldn't play, then Yobo would actually come in.
Yeah, and then he could play right back, centre back, even holding midfield as well, so you can see his versatility. But yeah, definitely a player to obviously this day. He's sitting on there, captain, war legend. So he's a captain, he's a leader, legend for Everton, and a Nigerian national team legend as well.
Yeah, and again, I think he was one of the first players I saw. Because again, at the time, centre backs were supposed to be very slow, very immobile. If you had any kind of sort of movement, then you would always fancy your chances. I think he was one of the first players, centre backs, that didn't actually look like a centre back. He looked like an athletic centre mid, so someone that could, literally race with you. Someone that would be probably as strong as you, that could jump as high as you. And again, he was probably about 6 foot, 6'1". And again, that really wasn't like the mold of a centre back. You're like looking at 6'3", 4 upwards. And again, he can have had an amazing sprint, absolutely. Yeah. And exactly what you said before, a Nigerian legend. Yeah, absolute legend. And I think Everton, especially in like those days, they literally relied on him as the Ferrari. Yeah. He was absolutely amazing. So do you think let's say with the players that we've spoken about, all of them have retired at this present moment in time. Yeah. A quick question: do you think the ones that have played in the Premiership should be coaching a lot more?
Well, I know Marcel Desailly has done quite a fair bit of punditry in the past, but I think definitely someone like him, obviously being a captain of a football team, captain of a national team as well. He should really, sort of been able to break through into the coaching managerial ranks. And then you sort of like William Gallas. I'm sure, is he still? No,
I'm not sure if he's coaching, but I mean, again,
the last he was at, I remember he was at Tottenham, and then I don't know where he's gone after that. And again, Joseph, if you look at them, they've been captain for their clubs, all three of them, obviously bar Babiaro. So there's no qualms in terms of maybe if they want to go into the coaching manager and set up, or if they haven't been given chances, or if they want to pursue other avenues. Yeah. I know Joseph Yobo came back to the Premier League with Norwich in 2016 and had a little short stint then. So that's only like 4 years ago. So again, he hasn't been retired that long. Since playing. But I think definitely someone like Marcel Desailly. I know he used to when he used to do his football punditry on BBC. Again, can speak a good game, and then him as a player as well. He could read the game. So those transferable skills. But again, management, coaching, as we know, it's a whole different ball game. To being a player.
Yeah.
But good question. Definitely food for thought, isn't it?
Definitely. Thank you to Paul Barrett. He's literally asked a question. Has anyone mentioned Des? I don't think Des Walker was in the Prem. I think he was a couple of years out. I think a few years out. But I mean, again, I can say I watched Des Walker probably in his prime, or probably again. I mean, Des Walker. So underrated. Strong, quick, and there used to be a chant. So I was at Nottingham. So
Nottingham Forest,
Nottingham Forest. So my like dad supports Nottingham Forest, and there's a that like was a chant that used to go, "You'll never beat Des Walker. You'll never beat Des Walker." This, honestly, like, I cannot remember anyone that literally got around him. It's kind of like the modern day Van Dijk.
Oh, wow.
An absolute beast. And again, anyone out there, please go and Google Des Walker.
Yeah.
He should have got a lot more caps for like England.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Yeah, did he play a lot? Yeah.
I mean, like he played.
Yeah.
Again, like, it wasn't a lot, but honestly, like, you know,
Not enough.
yeah, just literally think about, he was literally the Van Dijk in like that era. He was literally the Van Dijk. He had everything. He had absolutely everything. So thank you, Paul, for that. Definitely. So let's go to the next person. And again, thank you for everyone that's kind of commented. Thank you for people that are watching this on replay. Myself and Mimi, please go and check out Mimi at Mo Coaching on Instagram. I will also link that in my Instagram, on my Twitter as well. We'll be doing a lot more of these type of conversations. So let's go to the next legend. Saul Campbell. So I think it was George that literally put the comment.
Yeah, the first one.
You know what? I will just let you start.
So I think, as we know, Arsenal, Tottenham, that controversial move. But I think for me, I think it's what he did later on in his career when he made that move to Portsmouth and was still competing at that high level, and he was still putting in those 8 out of 10 performances week in, week out, and then guiding them to the FA Cup in 2008. Was it 8? Yeah, I think it was 8. I think 2009. Because it was 1 year when Chelsea, I remember Chelsea beat them. Was it 2009?
I want to say either 7 or 8.
Yeah. I think it's 2008. 2008, yes. So I think that, you know, for him to compete at that level, at his age, with obviously what he's done prior with Arsenal and Tottenham as well, really sort of something to sort of, like, you know, sort of take good encouragement with. And again, when he was at Arsenal, you know, he said obviously he moved from Tottenham to Arsenal to try and win things, to step up his game, to compete at the highest level. Again, a player where you can see the likes of someone like Desailly from the same sort of, they're able to play out, to pass, to retain the possession of the ball, to see those passes into the midfield. And also, you know, he could pop up deadly from set pieces, scored a few vital goals for England as well, got a goal for Arsenal in the Champions League final as well. So a really, really top player. And again, what he's doing off the pitch now he's retired, what he's doing off the pitch, breaking into the managerial side of the game, and then breaking down those barriers as well for black football managers as well. So what he's doing is sort of fantastic as well, what he's doing off the pitch. But in his playing days, from, again, watching growing up, Sol Campbell, Rio Ferdinand at the back. So yeah, definitely a player in our top 5, my top 5 players.
Yeah, no, you know, 100%. And you know what? I totally forgot that he actually moved to Portsmouth, and you know, he like won that. And again, that's a kind of testament of that player and the kind of, you know, his ability, because he kind of easily gone abroad and literally got played for like a bigger club at the time. And again, it just shows character. And if you really think about it, moving from Tottenham to Arsenal, he was a big player for Tottenham, even though like he didn't really play well. Like he played a few games, but he was kind of almost like that kind of Leslie King figure. And like for him to move to Arsenal, that shows that he was like willing, to like put everything on the line and to take that risk to better his career. What actually, a bit of a side note, what like would you say to any players or any coaches or kind of any content creators that are kind of in that limbo in terms of, oh, should I go to another club or should I do this? What's your kind of advice for anyone who's looking to take that step either sideways?
It's good. Obviously, you got to think about, in terms of loyalty, how much is loyalty? As a person, how do you value sort of what it means to be loyal? And are you a loyal person? It's that cliche within the modern day now, within the Premier League. There's no, even Premier League and other leagues, there's no loyalty in football. Players don't have to be loyal to their football teams. But I think in our, real day-to-day football, in our real lives now, I think being loyal and showing loyalty counts. Counts for something. You can go a long way. So I think you've got to look at what you want to achieve. If you're at a club and you feel you've taken the club to where you can go, and you maybe want to push on with your career. If you feel you want to play up further leagues, or if you want to take a step back and play. Just play for the enjoyment and maybe not really worry about what standard or level you're playing at. But if you're a player who wants to push on to the next level, then that will be something that you need to think about and have those conversations with people around you, and sort of who you're surrounding yourself around, people within the football game who know what it takes to be at the top or be at the highest level of where you want to play. But ultimately, I think it's a case of just taking that leap of faith, really, and just taking that step. And just, I think, if I'm going to look at my sort of life and over the last 2 years or so, like with this MO football coaching, like for many years, I've done coaching for different football coaching companies around South London. And I was and ahhing about, should I do my own football coaching company? I was thinking, what do I have in my hand? And just thinking, right, let me take that step. Really just backing my ability, and I haven't looked back since. Yes, it's not where I want it to be, but it's growing, and I'm on a journey, and I'm enjoying the journey. But I think if you don't go for it, if you don't go for something, then you're just gonna keep on and ahhing, and then you won't see no progression, no development, and no growth. And sort of in life, that's what we, that's what we want. That's what we're living, isn't it? Day to day, we're living for that progression, that life, sense of achievement. But yeah, I think when it comes to depending where you're playing at the levels, I think it's a bit more of a tricky one in terms of if you should go somewhere else to better yourself. But it's like, okay, what is this club offering that this club isn't? And then looking at yourself maybe as a person as well, and how do you value their loyalty? How do you value them? And then if they value you the same. But yeah, it's a good reason. I think it's that time of the year, isn't it, when people are looking for new adventures, and going to the new year, looking for new targets, new goals.
And bringing it back to Sol Campbell, do you think Sol Campbell was disloyal or savvy regarding his move to Tottenham?
I think for him it was a case of like a contract agreement, like a contract. I think what Tottenham offered him, or what was on the table, or what he was on, it was a case of Tottenham offered him this amount. He thought he could be on a bit higher. And then Arsenal came in for him, and then thought, okay, let me just if a club's interested in me,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to match. They're going to match the pay. They're going to match it, or they're going to match it, or even, or sort of, pay more. Then you're going to go to a place that pays more, aren't you?
Definitely.
But I think for him, I think because it's Arsenal. Because Arsenal Spurs, that mass rivalry. But what if it was another team in the Premier League? What if it was another rival in the Premier League? Would he have got that much hate and that much stick from it? But I think because Arsenal Spurs, it's a whole new level. It's a whole kettle of fish there that you're opening. But personally, I think if something was laid out on the table for Tottenham and he didn't agree with it, and he's probably seen other players come in for a bit more, but he's thinking, oh, I'm a decent player, he backs his ability, then there's interest from someone else, then he's gonna, I think footballers these days, they, the main thing, they've got to be confident in their ability, they've got to back their ability before, a club even backs you. You've got to have that self-belief that you're better than maybe a player that you're gonna take their, you're going to come in and take their shirt. Essentially, you're not going to come in and be on the bench. You're going to come in and take their shirt and be in the starting 11.
Yeah.
So again, for him also, he knows the rivalry. So again, he showed great courage in doing that. But it's because it's Tottenham Spurs, the rivalry, North London. That's why it's such a big, big story and a big saga, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. No, it's true. I mean, I kind of take my hat off to like Sol Campbell, because again, he is a risk taker, and even in management, he's kind of willing to take that risk, and he's kind of willing to actually talk about certain things that a lot of players would be afraid to. I think everyone can definitely take a leaf out of his book. There's literally nothing wrong taking a risk, taking a gamble. Because again, sometimes if you don't, then you might regret it, and you'll be always and ahhing.
Yeah,
you can always go back, or you can always do something similar that you was doing before. And yeah, no, he's a kind of player who I definitely admire, and I'd say in terms of all of the defenders that we've spoken about so far, I think probably closer to my kind of robustness and literally how I play more so.
Yeah.
But he's quality player, absolutely quality player, absolutely quality player. So you know what? That is the 5. However, there's probably one more name that I want to just throw in there.
Yeah.
And I've got his highlight reel. Yeah. I mean, Ashley Cole. You know what, Mimi? Can you please talk about Mr. Cole?
Yeah, no. So again, probably one of the best modern sort of in the era where he came into football, and then up until when he retired. The best left backs, the best full backs, probably one of the best England left backs, best left back in the Premier League. Again, because of where he was at Arsenal, he done really well, and then obviously the move to Chelsea. Again, there's some backlash over that, but then wherever he's been, he's went to Arsenal, started with Arsenal, success. Went to Chelsea, success. And he's been part of successful teams, and he's also been you'd say the backbone. If you look at the spine of a team, the back four, you would say he was the first name on the team sheet. And again, most consistent left back for England, up until the likes of Saka now. I feel that's been a position that England have struggled to fill since him retiring, to be honest, in my personal opinion. But definitely, someone who probably again could have toyed in my top 5. But player, definitely a notable player to take note of for what he's done on the pitch. And then again, he's striving to break into the managerial game as well, and into the coaching game as well, off the pitch as well. So it's good to take encouragement from that as well.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Carl, I mean, I believe, and I could be wrong, I think he made his debut against Bradford City, and I read a bit about him before, and I think he started off as a striker or literally as a left winger. Again, he was very, very attacking. And I think in the Euros he came against Ronaldo. I think it was in 2004. I can't remember, but that was actually when people stood up and took notice of Ashley Cole's defending.
Yes,
because that duel, will actually go down in folklore.
Yeah,
it's a lot of people do not talk about that duel, Ashley Cole, Cristiano Ronaldo, because I really believe without Ronaldo in the Premiership, Cole wouldn't have been that type of defender.
Yeah.
And again, in his prime, there was no one better. And exactly what you said before, I think England, Chelsea until probably recently with what's his name? And even Arsenal were, again, like, how can you replace someone like him that did so much, had a great engine, had a great work ethic as well, and she went to LA Galaxy, and he was like still performing at such a high level. He's he's still willing to learn. He's got so much experience, and again, personally, I am very, very surprised that no club have actually snapped him up. I think he's the most capped left-sided defender, in England. Hopefully that's the kind of right stat there, or right quote. Just so much knowledge. So much knowledge, and I would literally love him to kind of be in my Sunday League team, because again, he would just be honest. Absolutely.
No, definitely. Growing up, when you'll do your fantasy footballs, or your starting 11, you'll always put Ashley Cole left back. You'll always have him as left back because of his, again, they said defensive duties, 1v1s, and then again him pushing forward and supporting the attacks as well. But definitely, I think when he went to Chelsea, he then took his football ability to like a next level. I think in terms of his attacking and going forwards and getting in and amongst the goals. But definitely an experienced player for England, for Chelsea, for Arsenal through his years. And I think he's also the most capped black or dual heritage player for England.
I believe so. Yes. Yeah,
I think he is. Yeah. And he had a stint at Derby, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. And I remember the player coming out and the players saying how much they learned off him, and then even for him as well to go. He wanted to come back and play in England, but for him to go to a team from an ex-former teammate, and still be willing to learn, off him as a manager, opposed to him being a teammate. So you can see how humble he was to to go through that experience. And I think at the moment, I think he has a role with the Chelsea youth setup.
I'm not too sure.
I believe so. I think so. I think he's got a role within. I don't know if from my think so. From my top of my head. But yeah, it was good.
Do you think Ashley Cole's reputation's been tarnished with the relationship that I had with Cheryl?
Yes, yeah. Well, again, I think that was obviously in sort of his twilight of his career, like when he's really blooming and blossoming. And obviously, was married to Cheryl Cole, well, then Cheryl Cole. But the media, they just want someone and something to pick on. And again, I think during his career, I think he was picked upon a bit by the media, and sort of someone who the media wanted to maybe to tarnish, sort of to tarnish his reputation. And sort of distract from his footballing abilities on the pitch and just pick up some stuff from him off the pitch, especially again with the move to Chelsea and that supposedly being all about money. But yeah, and as you said about that, his off the field relationship as well. But it's just the media, isn't it? And just
the media,
just finding something in someone to target, but I think he's unfairly treated. Yeah, I believe so during his playing career. So
yeah, and I guess that's another topic on its own, really. So let's not delve too much in there.
Yeah.
Let's keep it light. So but yeah, Ashley Cole and probably a few other mentions that I did manage to get any video highlights. Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Again, a quality player, West Ham, Leeds, United,
England,
QPR, which personally as a Liverpool fan, I remember his QPR days more than his United days. But again, quality player, an immense character, an immense presence as well. A great leader. And he's literally speaking out and literally doing so much for the community right now.
Yeah.
Have you got anything to say about Ferdinand?
Yeah. So obviously, what he's doing now, his punditry, and offering an insight and an analysis on the game. Him as a player. That move from Leeds to Man United, was it a record fee for a defender at that stage?
I think it was like 30 million.
Yeah. So obviously all those years ago, that was huge figures. I always remember that goal he scored against Liverpool.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. And he's quite kind. And obviously from the family that he comes from, Les Ferdinand, Anton Ferdinand, it's like a footballing based family, and it's good to see him still being involved in the game as well. In a punditry, and he's someone who when he does do his media duties, someone who you can really listen to and engage with as well. And someone who's fair with his criticism. In terms of maybe not being too biased to his ex teams.
100%. And big up shout out to Rio Ferdinand, because there's a business and they're pretty prominent on social media called Train Effective. I've actually done some work with them, and Rio Ferdinand, I'm not too sure if he's bought some of the company or literally shareholding or actually he's actively involved in Train the Train Effective team, and Train Effective have literally got this app for grassroots or Sunday League players that are looking to go pro. And literally Rio Ferdinand is with them, talking about the app. is kind of talking about the lessons, the drills. I know Rio Ferdinand is actively within grassroots. He is kind of actively looking for creators that are kind of looking to like help other players, other coaches reach that next level. So, you know,
good to hear.
So again, please, anyone out there, please go and check out Train Effective on Instagram. And Rio Ferdinand is all up in there. And again, well done to Nick from Train Effective. And again, well done to Rio Ferdinand.
Nice.
Guys, this is the end. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much, Mimi. Can you please tell everyone again your social media details?
Yeah, so on Instagram, MO Football Coaching. Twitter is MO Coaching 1, number 1. Yeah, Twitter and Instagram.
Thank you so much. And we'll be doing a lot more live discussions about different topics. Thank you so much for joining me at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's kind of going on to 8 o'clock now. So honestly, thank you so much.
Good.
Guys,
thank you.
Please go and follow Mo Training. Please go and follow myself, the Amateur Football, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You know, just kind of type it in and I'm sure that you'll see this ugly face. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Watch out for another video coming out probably sometime tomorrow. I salute everyone.